each other.
I think absolutely no time getting things started at this one. Quick plays in towards the long control for the likes of Floppy, especially looking down towards CT, spotting Glaive, but getting picked up by that CT player. Junior spots Config, forcing him back passive over at the short control, but he still peeks in, gets another good headshot. A 5 versus 3, making it 2 as Config doubles up himself. JT and Fang, there should be no way back out of this pistol, especially as Fang's being faced around by Config. There's the headshot, 1v5.
What a perfect start this has been from Astralis. Players all around the A side now, and JT's all alone, just hoping for anything from this point onwards. Config, you want to try and get off to a steamer of a start, and that's only going to build up some confidence too. What a perfect pistol that was from Config.
Oh, lovely Nathan Blame. Damage done, easy pickings against Floppy. JT quick to follow suit as well. The TK does come through from Fang, take away one rifle, or one kill away from the Astralis side, but not like it matters too much for the grand scale of things. 1v4 for Grim from us, at least in his hands, but doesn't go much.
Guard with maybe a smoke out, or some of the util being pinned. Fang making a lot of noise down there in the lower tunnels, and Grim's going to fall next.
Config looking for the triple, the 3-peat, not quite able to make it happen. Fang finally gets that trade. But that one pistol has found a 2-for-1. Still the advantage for Astralis here. Complexity will press on towards the short position. They are going to be passive over on the CT side of things, especially out towards that long control. So they can get the bomb plant here, but the numbers game favors them for the retake.
Yeah, playing fairly retake heavy, just knowing that Zip's finally going to come over, try and see if he can take a couple of pop shots. He's got Blame F with that M4 right behind him. They've got to try and regroup together here.
Junior trying to get towards short boxes, get the plant down the short side. Zip still getting some decent damage in, setting up Blame F for a decent kill, but he only gets one for his trouble as Floppy trades to a 2v2 situation. Again, Complexity fighting away for the advantages that Astralis have gained here. Smokes down, perfectly timed. The flashbang goes over. That does blind the T-side players off. Meanwhile, Glaive tries action out towards this long control, getting Floppy. Suddenly, Junior is left alone. A 1 versus 2, AK in hand. Aware that Fang's inbound towards short slumber. Will he pick out of the smoke? Yes, he will. Junior's ready for it. Not aware of how close Glaive is. Now he most certainly is. Shot bringing out. AK looking for the spray down, looking for the headshot back into the IGL, and he wins that engagement. Hell of a clutch for Junior. And again, things can look positive for them. Half buy-in for Astralis in this next round. The 2 rifles be valuable to them. One of which placed out towards long. JT going to hunt for that man, and Ziff still able to get the kill from Carr. Start things off on the right foot. That was all a luck, though. The real charge comes in towards short, and Farley's going to try and meet him head on. The Deagle just couldn't focus. The flashbang harming them. Ziff and Blame fall quick. The nades damage will tank Grim to 7 points of HP. The Config and Glaive in the 2 versus 4. Junior, first man to face, will get out of dodge here. Still tagged up by that 5-7. Surely from here it should all fall apart. Somehow Config still gets another frag back, and Grim is barely evading the ire of Glaive, who does get that trade back. An AK in hand, and he's going for more.
That's a very good eco again for Astralis. They can always be happy about that point. Trying to work on the edge of the smoke, doing so much damage down to Fang at that goose position. Floppy's got the cross being set from that car angle. And for Complexity, you're looking at double digits plus at the turn of the half.
Thompson smokes in. There's 4 players to receive them on the Astralis side, though. On the A side, they've read this so well, and Blame has already lined up a double. Floppy and Fang down. Junior trades back and Zip right through the smoke. Gets JT as well. Grim can't quite hold on to enough trades. He's desperately trying to do so, but as he refaces Blame, Junior becomes the last man standing. 1 versus 3, only good for a kill. Flashbang in from Junior to allow the shooting from Grim. He hits the bomb first, and he gets killed off for it. At least there's a trade for Floppy, but they're going to charge straight into the B side. They've got to read that this aggressive play is going to leave an open sight, but they're unable to get there in time. Incendiary down from Glaive blocks off the execution as Fang strikes towards mid. Farley calls the trade. 3v3 situation, and JT still lurking up there. Glaive gets his kill, drops the bomb. JT falls. Junior once again left to clutch it, and he just can't see. Blame just work out towards the mid control. Flashed in to look for info, but can't seem to spot them. Meanwhile, Config is going to get driven back a little bit by the mass numbers here from this T-side line, but Fang has fallen in the interim. Blame gets a kill through smoke, so 2 left on the Complexity side. They get that 1 trade. There's 4 more to go.
Yeah, even here, where do you work? You go back up towards T-spawn. Is it still being held? Astralis have members around. Very difficult 2v4 to recover, and even the reposition out towards the longhouse. JT and Grim desperate for anything. At least they've done damage onto Zip.
19 HP, they need to get the trade going with Grim dropping the bomb out towards tunnels again. There's no chance.
Completely. And we have to have a look at JT on how he's going to be able to respond. Only finishing that half with 3 kills. Really needs to step it up in the second, but maybe his teammates are going to do all that for him. The long contact already coming through, the bomb being dropped. Glaive's managed a couple of kills. They might still be able to get a bomb plan on A from this.
They are backing off, thinking there might be something else going on here for the Astralis side. Is this a good read for Complexity? Not certain. They've got 1 player lurking out towards the spawn angle and 1 man out towards that pit position. So they'll group up as a 3-man unit and try to see if they can find the individual fights here. Farlig, headshot on the first player though, cleans up JT to make it a kill for him in this round. On for the 3K if he challenges against all successfully here. Floppy out towards mid. Fang and Suicide detected but not dead. Now Glaive has got to try and act towards the site, or will he try and take the fights himself? Waiting in the corner of Long. If he doesn't get checked here, then Complexity will be in some deep, deep trouble.
They're trying to see if they can force a mistake to come out. They peek together, but Glaive lands the bullet, and now he's got all the smoke to work with. Knows the Fang is up there from the top mid position. He's actually trying to see if he could draw the fight rather than getting the bomb down straight away.
On for a 4K if he does this. Trying to hope that Complexity get overzealous. Hope that Fang tries to charge forward in desperation. But now comes the mind games here. Did he wait up towards Long? Is he hoping that Glaive overextends and tries to rotate? Do you think he's coming out towards short? He's checking both angles. He's got to be careful about this, and Fang has played this wonderfully to avoid contact. Now charging straight up towards Long. Labor's got to go for a safe plant. This is deniable here. P250 up against the man. Can't spot him. Tap at a headshot. Can't quite land the kill, though. 13 HP for Glaive. He still holds on for a moment with the smoke down on the side. He's waiting for contact. Fang has repositioned again, trying to play the one-up game against Glaive. One bullet's all it takes. Doesn't even need to be a headshot for the CT player. For Glaive, it does, though. Get out for him, so time play with. Tap once. Glaive takes the face, and Fang. Back close combat against the likes of Glaive. There it is. Great kill. Smoke against him. Molotov's down. T-side players will cross out towards elbow. Junior might have a bit of work to do himself. Still got an SMG playing around the smokes, and JT is forced back to join Junior, who finds Farlig. Looks for Blame, who does get that one good trade bag. Seeing JT as well, I believe, back behind that ramp position. Scout watching out for him, and Grim will try back up the SMG as Astralis slowly walk forward, try and get this bomb down to the site and play it from there. Scout damage done to Grim next, and there comes the kill for JT. Last player seen. Now should get bracketed, even surely should fall.
Yeah, very good response coming
into position in the tunnel. Seems to be the set piece execution towards the B side. They've only got Floppy to contend with. Good smokes in initially, but they've already used it on the T side line. Does take a peek in. Config ahead of the game, ahead of the flashbang. So much damage done. Fang's got to line up some through the smoke. Gets one before it blooms, and is traded back by Zip ahead of it. So 3 versus 3, all 100 HP for Complexity. The retake is on.
Oh, it's a difficult call, though. Yeah, you're going to know that you did damage over, but do you want to go for this? Do you want to risk it? You're not working with a great economy flow.
Now watching for an overextension, and they're looking for some utility back and forth here. The nade not quite landing the Zipex. CT's continue to walk forward. Half the time expired on this bomb, and Zip's going to reposition to another angle as well. Molotov against that angle, so he's going to get forced out of the bomb site into another corner. Footsteps might get heard. JT going to look towards backside. Glaive gets caught. 2 players left, and he gets a double up as well. Farley with one good trade back. Molotov on the bomb. That's perfect. Is there a smoke down for Junior? I don't think there is. A kill can come through. He's done it himself. Farley with a triple, in fact. He goes up with the bomb, but
when you go in for a weaponry like this, and the information's been gathered, they're going to start stacking up on A, but the flash over the top, and that's already the AWP dealt with. Can't imagine that's going to get picked up for too much longer. Grim fights in for 1, gets refaced, so 1 kill's all that's going to be found from that rifle.
Junior with the USP now at elevator. Bomb will go down. Config seen him, kills him off. They can afford it for that matter. P250 for Config, flashed in initially. JT shuts him down immediately, playing anti-flash with Fang on the backup position. Blame does win that one fight, and 2 players face Fang. They're getting to 3 HP. Blame's got 2 frags for his trouble. That's 2 rifles to work with now. Grim's got to make the backstab happen, and Zip will end up falling. The York now to task here for Junior's part is unaware of the player that just crossed. Glaive going to walk right up towards that man, and finally response is in, but Junior misses the shot. Now there's pressure. Now there's a bomb plant to find.
Yeah, puts that volley down to try and stall. Even Grim's taking some damage. Junior's going to fall 2v2. This is so winnable.
Flames on 3 kills. The head not seen. Grim crossing past. Sees Farlig. He gets his frag. Floppy alone. Eco still for Astralis. This is Config. Floppy just moving forward towards his angle. Spotting players. Gets the engagement against Blame and also wins against Father.
Up on the other side. Slightly wider on the angle.
Great flashing against Fang. Disappearing behind that smoke initially. Going to reface. Smokes go down, sees one, gets Config, and Glaive has absolutely no idea. Zip does find a responsive though. He backs off towards that mid position. The other AWP has found his angle as Blame starts walking out. JT detected and sprayed down. B site has fallen, 3 versus 3, and surely Complexity have got to go for the retake here.
Nah, I disagree, mate. I think you got to save. In this sort of case, you don't have players in good retaking positions. Astralis has been strong on the post plant so far.
Flash is going over, Zip caught with U2 in hand. Grim on the center of the site, catching Blame F. Farley then to deal with Floppy, but Grim doubles up, looks for the triple, but Ziff gets it to a 1 versus 1. 9 points of HP. Junior with a nade out, and Ziff barely alive. Still Junior looking for the kill, but he can't land it. The spray drives him off, and Ziff, one headshot's all he requires.
Just try and get a smoke down, just send it into B. And Floppy's going to be the anchor player. Fang's still there on rotate.
And that nade being baited out starts the execution. Sprays through from both him and Floppy. Fang doubles up, gets dealt with by Glaive at long last. That Mac 10 rounds the corner. Farlig caught with a bomb in his back, but he gets that triple in. A 3 versus 3 and needs to get the plant down. The AWP slowly but surely creeping in from the tunnels. As the bomb gets planted, there's more utility down towards Junior's position, but Farlig drops as the Zip, and it's all on Glaive. Hiding back behind car, seeing JT burst through some damage. Junior's fallen, as does JT, but Grim's way too close and way too agile. That will be 16-13. Complexity take map 1.
Oh, they ended on a clutch again, Jay. What a situation for Complexity to work with. Those last few rounds of
things, USPs and the P2K pulled out here with the utility set for Grim and the utility set for Zip, and over on Farlig's part as well on the Astralis side. There will be a decent amount of work with the execution. They'll pop open the squeaky door. It's Floppy from the bear down upon them from the rafters. He gets killed off by Config, who doubles up the Junior all the same. JT fell in the interim, so a 4 versus 2. Grim quick to respond up towards that heaven position. Good flick on the Zip. Trying to connect to Config the same, but unable to do so. Damage of return on towards him though. Glaive at 26, Grim at 28. This was a footsteps hurt by Grim, who will just rotate right back down the vent position. Get double up against Farlig and Glaive. And 1 rifle picked up for Zipex. Complexity have all their bases covered for now. Astralis have got to work into that B site. It'll be impossible to get up these vents here.
And they're just trying to see if they can toy with Complexity. You've got 45 odd seconds on the clock. You've got plenty of time to work with. You know that this is only just a light eco. Can you force someone to get hungry? Can you put yourself in a position where Complexity start over-fighting? And even for JT, it's so passive on the outside position. Doesn't need a peek again. Wait for his teammate to come through. Tactically, very on by a significant margin with the scoreline, and they want to try and keep the pressure on. Fast play from Astralis to the top of take.
Oh, pressure just by the pacing alone. Fang turning away from the players to battle line up for him. Zipex with the kill. Grim with a double up. Looks for that triple, but can't quite finish the job. JT forced to bail him out. A 3 versus 2. And Complexity have somehow come out on top of this rush tactic here. The bomb dropped on site. Got to commit towards A. Floppy also creeping into the back lines. Farlig making a ton of Lloyds, but Floppy will not close in the back stab.
Try and get that bomb down and focus the attention on the Rat players. In from heaven, back into that lobby control. The timing's going to be everything in when JT starts to act with Floppy.
Oh, can't lock onto the quick scope flick. And now Glaive is all that remains. 1 versus 3. Backed up in Hart, looking out towards the rafters, looking up towards heaven. JT fights on towards the man and wins. And Farlig once again up towards the roof of lobby. A very fast inner take once again. Config. Mac 10 up against Grim, who does get traded back by Fang. As Glaive there with the 1 kill on the round for the T-side line, as Fang doubles up against Zipex as well. Blame and Farlig, the 2 AKs, all that remain. They'll get at least 1 casualty, but that's as far as it will go. And Farlig last to fall to flop.
The scoreline advantage now.
Utility thrown down, Molotovs in. Fang gets the kill on Blame to start things off. Floppy brings more out towards the ramp position. It's the AWP Junior that actually gets the next kill back. Floppy does get his piece of the pie. And the one player, oh, Junior, a little bit shocked at that one. Does get picked up by Config in the end. He wasn't with that kill. The Seas are going to back things up, but Config does give up his life.
Grim on the off angle towards the top side, needs to try and slow it down, and that's exactly what he finds. Dealing with Blame F, and Astralis have got to cancel with his top side play.
A 4-on-3 situation. Farlig at 2 points of health. Glaive caught off by Fang. Now it's left to a 2v4. Zipex. I work into the 100 HP. Farlig on 2 points of health. So if Zipex falls, that's round done at this stage. A pretty impossible clutch for Farlig.
7.
Buyback is not fantastic for Astralis. They'll try to rush in once again. Grim does get a little bit overzealous. Not sure of how many players are around him. Fang and Junior drop into the site. Get blaming Glaive, and Junior lands on Farlig the same. Config, the last one standing. Can't make much happen out of it. So it will be. And Complexity most certainly will give it towards him as the Molotovs will pour out and the flashbangs will come in. It's a top site execution, and Config reads it like a book. Farlig's going to find his angle out towards the closed vent, but Config's overwhelming the open part of the site. There's Glaive to fall. Farlig with 2 headshots, looking for the triple against JT. JT, and that's exactly what he gets. Junior trying to hunt this player down. The backup has arrived. Farley finally falls, but Junior is fallen back in turn. It's Floppy alone for the 3K clutch. Gets his second and tries to look for that third player as well. Headshot desperately required. All sorts of bullets going into the... Go with this. Up towards the B side seems to be the likely call here, with Fang now taking point with the Mac 10. Kill on Zipx, doubles up. Not quite the triple. 3 versus 3. That's what Farley's there for. Clean up duty against Floppy and Junior. JT in the 1 versus 3. Doesn't get past config.
And this is him.
We said in general his week so far has been pretty average for Astralis, but he's having an impact in this game, and that might be all that matters to them. M4 for BlameF, immediately executing Grim, of course. Eco pistols, upgrades across the board. Junior's also been tagged as Floppy up towards Silo. Fang does find config at least, and Junior and JT are hunting for a decent headshot. Tech9 out towards the open site, and that's a bit of an overextension from Fang. Same thing for JT up to red box. So 4 versus 2, Astralis. We're going to take 10 and take control. Looking forward. Utility already on the top of the roof. Junior, you can see him in the corner of your screen right there. He's ready to put some mollies down. A counter incendiary from Glaive. Smartly called, but he's going to rush forward a bit. Blind sprays, does so much damage. Gets away with 1 kill. Fang, however, forced to trade. Config extends out towards Squeak Door. And Zipx cat in from Glaive, doing damage to Fang. Blind spraying towards his general position, but nothing really landing against him. JT, meanwhile, walks towards outside, and Blame just captures the dink against him and doubles up towards Fang the same. 2 kills towards outside. Grim desperately trying to hold on to a trade, but none of it comes through, and Junior's left alone to be the hero of complexity or die trying, because Astralis now only a frag away from taking this map and sending North America's home.
Open with a slight amount of util, so much pace in towards this cave control. Farley's hearing all the footsteps.
USP up against him coming out of the cave entrance. Can't quite land a kill shot onto Fang. BlameF getting a little bit closer on Junior's part, and indeed that man falls outside of the B door. Zipx caught on the reload. Grim with his kill. BlameF with a double up, but only the double. Fang trades it back. It's a 1v3 for Glaive instead. Grim picked up, so that's a frag back for his own right on the clutch. No kit in for him. There might be one drop. Never mind. Fang was going to lose very quickly and Floppy. And by all accounts, Astralis should take control of this, but we have seen rounds come in with worse, mostly on the Astralis side. Molotov set, Glaive out towards the initial central box. 2 backs turn towards him, gets 2 kills. Wrapped in upon by Junior, does drop that bomb. And Fang there with at least a decent trade. Farley holds on to control, and BlameF will deal. Bomb damage will come in minimally towards Junior's part of things, and Charlotte start off the round once again. Okay, is working in. Blame does get caught over aggression against Junior's part of things. Only 1 casualty goes the way of the T side though. Config with 2 lineups of the SMG, and makes it a triple.
A lot of vibes of when Ancient first came into the pool, how hyper-aggressive it was on the CT side. We're seeing it here from Astralis. Config just going to get that 1-for-1, try and fall back. He's got a teammate to peek with him. Grim just can't peek. As soon as that incendiary comes down, he doesn't have the HP to work with.
Aggress out towards Lane instead. Almost catch JT. USP pull down against Floppy. That's 2 players that BlameF can hunt for. Nade towards the position. That probably no, doesn't quite catch JT actually. Landing on the lip of that boost up. Zipx' nade will eventually get his kill. Double up against Floppy. USP pulled out against Grim for the triple. The AK up close and personal against BlameF will at least find that 1 good trade back, but still can't see where the next CT is at. The bomb almost goes down here. Junior actually taking 5 points of HP. Grim trying to wrap that corner eventually. We'll get to a 2 versus 2. But HP numbers on the T side do not look fantastic. The USP pulled out for Farley for good reason here. Bomb attempted to plant. I think on the safe side ahead of the smoke. Either way, Glaive's going to get Grim. Junior in the 1v2. Needs to hit both headshots. Not going to happen. Watching the mid control to watch out for elbow. Farley a bit more passive in his own right. AWP pixels away from seeing JT. The moment he pops his head out, he's a dead man.
Yeah, that's a very good shot. And when you're not working with any util, you just got a dry face, and a lot of these duels, Config might get caught repositioning, getting out towards that pit control, gets it first with the second, bomb gets dropped, makes it easy, you've got a teammate with him, and the tap finally comes.
Yeah, no choice in the matter. Again, expensive rounds coming in. Complexity should make this easy pickings as well. No major upgrades except for the P250. In fact, more damage comes in from JT against his own team, let alone the CT's taking a frag. There's a backstab from Zipx. Might provide some interest, maybe a knife kill. Here in the footsteps of the 2 players up top mid. Engage against them. No. Grim check.
Making it very uneasy for Complexity to gather map control in the first 30-odd seconds of the round.
Do manage to gain control of the bad advantage in this early part of the round. Zipex falling, quick rush in with the eco basis. JT wrapping the corner alongside Floppy getting his kill. Glaive trades back alongside Farley coming in. They'll be able to mop up the rest of the T-side players. 3 side Glaive expecting them to make their way in from mid, and they'd be right to assume so. Smokes will go down. They will suppress some angles of the CT side. Crossfire held together on this one. Config will get Floppy, and Farlig will find JT the same. So there's that 3-man stack coming into effect. 4 versus 2. Bang could catch off the likes of Glaive, but that bomb being dropped on the B side means they've got to go in with the 2-pronged attack and regain control of the situation. Maybe the noise being made back here towards top mid might pull them forward. They check Junior though, and as Zipex gets that kill, Bang surely should have no chance of doing this. And indeed he doesn't. 9-6 should go down from here.
And the bomb's going to take a little while to get over, and while that's in play, look at BlameF taking the approach of getting deep in towards CT, slowing down some of these rotates, and now even out from mid, they've got plenty of options to work with. They're actually sending this bomb back away from AJ.
Very unorthodox strategy from Astralis, but it might still work because they've drawn all attention away from the B site and they're going to go via spawn. So as Grim sees nothing in mid and they see no execution capitalized upon by the A side, they saw how deep Astralis went. They must recognize that they're going to go back in, and this lane control from Grim could be everything. He's going to hear the footsteps inbound, take a face, take some damage against Glaive, not quite get the kill. See that bomb carrier the same. They can counter rotate if they can take Grim back down. It's Floppy on a site, however, that gets BlameF, and JT trying to lock out some decent kills. Grim drops the bomb all the way back in at lane, so a 3 versus 2, Complexity taking all sorts of control of the pistol. Glaive does get a good headshot jumping and has room to breathe if he goes back to the A sites.
Yeah, surely gets the bomb down, at least in this sort of scenario. Very well read there from Complexity to start bringing members away from A in towards mid, and that information from Grim, not only did he gather it, he got 3 kills.
Glaive's read this so well as well, expecting both players to come in from Donut or from the CT spawn. He's going to hear both sets of footsteps soon. Around the corner, low HP, tap on the bomb once. Checking all corners, they're not checking main though. The fuse not being stuck entirely. The kit is on JT. Swing out, see that player. Perfect headshot, perfect timing. And Glaive, patient as ever, wants to try baiting Floppy a little bit longer. Tap second time on the bomb defuse. Kit now in his position, and Glaive just continues to force him out of position. A third tap comes in. The jump face gets more info, and there's just no time left for Floppy on this one. Glaive, the 1v1 clutch, played to perfection, defends the bomb. Priority number 1 as Astralis take the pistol. They follow up out with the regular rifles instead. Mach 10 getting domed in immediately by Fang. Config turns to fall. Glaive predicting Grim so well, but can't get a kill against him, and Fang comes in with support. He's double up in this round. And a 4v3 situation. The A site has fallen. The Complexity still have control.
A really important swing there from Fang, just to back up his teammate and to allow more assistance down there from the mid control. The bomb can get planted. Does it get spammed by any of the Donut players?
Not apparently. Flashes forward as they try and reposition for the retake. You still have one player of Grim paranoid that there's going to be some sort of mid-lurk play from Astralis. They don't have all the info. They do have Farley goes. That's 2 left standing. 1 left standing as BlameF falls in Zipex. The clutch minister, just too much to walk forward for Glaive. Out towards mid. Fang evades him. Looks to Config and lands that headshot. Easy. Start out. In for the rest of them. One will commit out towards candles as well. There is one player of Grim who's watching intently towards Maze, unsupported by the CT side. JT smoked off, so he might have to call in attention, and that's exactly what he'll do. Eventually, Grim will start to reposition himself, but also look back towards site. If Glaive times this right, he gets both him and the Donut player. No, Grim with a kill, 5 on 3. Might be low HP, so there's at least a kill or 2 coming in for the T-side line, but nothing major it seems. Still the advantage maintained by Complexity. Damage being done to both Blame and Zipex here.
This is very winnable, especially if they fight down onto these rotators. Trying to get that bomb down is going to be difficult, but it's a 1v1, and BlameF's got the orb.
I think he's also seen the player as well. Tap once, force forward against Floppy. We'll have to stick the bomb plant this time. It's allowed Floppy to get real close, up close and personal. Wrap the corner, does concede the... He's out there, holds the angle intently, and gets credited with his patience. Gets rewarded for his kill. A 5 on 4, Complexity with the advantage, and Astralis start walking into the B site. Zipex Shadow seen, but still he gets JT. Don't know what it is about these Astralis picks, but they look so effective sometimes. Another kill found by Ziff. BlameF against Traded, it's a 3v3. Bomb yet to commit to site entirely, but Zipex is still looking for more into the back lanes. Flash round the corner. Junior's orb's been seen, and Ziff backs off.
Junior, just with his AWP, doesn't know where to reposition to and actually loses that AWP fight. Zimix can start getting further aggressive. They can't quite get the bomb down because Glaive falls.
Farlig also tagged a little bit. Zipex looking to try and make another play. 2 to his name already. They wrap the corner and he gets banged. Grim caught off guard with the AWP shot. Famas being the best 2 weapons on Grim and Junior. Fast plays in from the T-side line. Config wants to end this quick. And JT's fallen for it. Junior at least comes up with a double. But Floppy doesn't last much longer. Junior makes it a triple, in fact. Back out to the long entrance. He's on for the quadra, but Zipex finally puts it down. Bomb dropped in the site. 2v2 should get picked up and planted soon. They've got time to work with, however, Astralis.
Yeah, start putting some of these nades in that cave position. There is a backstab out from Ramp. It's being watched for a moment here from Farlig. The Deagle gets the headshot and now forces it down to Zip to clutch again.
Once again for the 1v2, on for the 3K. Turned away from the Deagle at first, but the spray comes up good anyways. No idea where Grim's coming from, though. Yeah, Deagles and Glocks in, 2 players with the hand cannons. Nothing major for Astralis, at least it should be. Okay, Floppy. Spots 2, gets 2, gets 3. Doesn't quite tap onto the 4th man, so a little bit of lost riflery there, but we should be seeing the returns come through from the CT side regardless. Kill on Glaive, Farlig in a 1 versus 4. Get the AK back if they want to. Nothing major in this round though. Complexity with an easy 13th for Astralis. It's about the rifles in round 29.
I've got to imagine a tactical pause is starting to loom in question of when it's next going to come through for the Danes. And Farlig just trying to see if he can get any more out of this round, but not to be. 1 kill gets found on the...
They'll go once again, removing the main center of defensive. The bomb should get planted, or does it? It backs out a main. Leaves Config as the lurk flank.
Oh, this is very unorthodox. And with this in mind, you're just pulling distraction, pulling those rotates. Even Floppy down aggressive in mid's got no idea this is the play.
Oh, and the shot comes into Junior. Fang trades it, and now they recognize what's going on. There's no one left on the A site. Blame's already made his way up to B. The bomb will definitely go down, and Blame could cut them off at first contact.
Yeah, of course he can. Get aggressive, make it uncomfortable for JT. The swing on the contact, see the first. Now he can slow it down with the molly.
To suppress them out of the site, make sure they can't get to the back lane. Blame's watching for everything. Flash forward, will not allow a peek. They're just trying to do everything they can to suppress whatever little utility the T-side have. Nade damage, round the corner they will look to go, but Blame, blind as a bat, still gets his kill. Floppy with a responsive, a 3-on-2 now. Zipex watches, sprays through, Floppy brings it back to evens one more time. Farlig trying to hide around the totem, swing out, get the headshot, see where Fang is at, and that calls in info for Clay. The same, doesn't need to respond. It's Farlig with a double, and a 16-4.